With millions of acres of diverse and vital wilderness, and a human history reaching back 14,000 years, Alaska is one of the United States of America's largest states with the longest history of occupation in Northern America. Within this vast landscape, Alaska's many national parks, preserves and monuments is home to a host of natural, cultural, and historic wonders. Alaska, the land of the midnight sun, has the nation's largest glacial system, world-class wildlife viewing, North America's tallest peak, and so much more. The name Alaska was introduced in the Russian colonial period when it was used to refer to the Alaska Peninsula. It was derived from an Aleut language idiom, alaksak, meaning the mainland or, more literally, the object towards which the action of the sea is directed. Alaska's land of the midnight sun is coined due to certain areas of the state where the sun does not fully set for months, most between April and August, granting Alaskans roughly 24 hours of daylight. Indigenous people have lived in Alaska for thousands of years, and it is widely believed that the region served as the entry point for the initial settlement of North America by way of the Bering Land Bridge. The Russian Empire was the first to actively colonize the area beginning in the 18th century, eventually establishing Russian America, which spanned most of the current state, and promoted and maintained a native Alaskan Creole population with its myriad of islands. Alaska has nearly 34,000 miles, or 55,000 kilometers of tidal shoreline. The Aleutian Islands chain extends west from the southern tip of the Alaska Peninsula. It has many active volcanoes found in the Aleutians and in coastal regions. Unimak Island, for example, is home to Mount Shishelden, which is a smoldering volcano that rises to 10,000 feet or 3,000 meters above the North Pacific. The chain of volcanoes extends to Mount Spur, west of Anchorage on the mainland. Alaska has more than 409,000 natural lakes. At least 1 hectare or bigger marshlands and wetland permafrost cover 188,320 square miles or 487,700 square kilometers, mostly in northern, western and southwest flatlands. Glacier ice covers about 28,957 square miles, 75,000 square kilometers of Alaska. The Bering Glacier is the largest glacier in North America, covering 2,008 square miles, 5,200 square kilometers alone. The most used language is English, spoken by 83.7% of the population, and 16.3% spoke another language other than English. The most spoken European language after English is Spanish, spoken by approximately 4.0% of the state population. Alaska has an abundance of seafood, with the primary fisheries in the Bering Sea and the North Pacific. Seafood is one of the few food items that is often cheaper within the state than outside it. Many Alaskans take advantage of salmon seasons to harvest portions of their household diet, while fishing for subsistence, as well as sport. This includes fish taken by hook, net or wheel. Hunting for subsistence, primarily caribou, moose, and Dall sheep is still common in the state, particularly in remote bush communities. An example of a traditional native food is akutak, the Eskimo ice cream, which can consist of reindeer fat, seal oil, dried fish meat, and local berries. Alaska's reindeer herding is concentrated on Seward Peninsula, where wild caribou can be prevented from mingling and migrating with the domesticated reindeer. Most food in Alaska is transported into the state from outside the other 49 U.S. states, and shipping costs make food in the cities relatively expensive. In rural areas, subsistence hunting and gathering is an essential activity because imported food is prohibitively expensive. Popular term selling ice to Eskimos, it is used to explain that something is very hard to sell. On the other hand, the saying she could sell ice to Eskimos means they're a very, very good salesperson, talking about the Inuit. The Alaskan Inupiat are traditionally located in the northwest Arctic borough, on the Alaska North Slope, the Bering Strait, and on Little Diomede Island. Many individuals who would have historically been referred to as Eskimo find the term offensive or forced upon them in a colonial way. Inuit is now a common autonym for a large subgroup of these people. The word Inuit varying forms Inupiat, Inuvialut, Inuhwit, etc., however, is an ancient self-referential to a group of peoples which includes at most the Inupiat of Bering Strait, coast of Chukotka, and northern Alaska. The igloo, also known as a snow house or snow hut, is a type of shelter built of suitable snow. Although igloos are often associated with all Inuit, they were traditionally used only by the people of Canada's central Arctic and the Konik area of Greenland. Other Inuit tended to use snow to insulate their houses, which were constructed from whalebone and hides. Snow is used because the air pockets trapped in it make it an insulator due to the very cold temperatures which, on the outside, may be as low as 45 degrees Celsius (49 degrees Fahrenheit), but on the inside, They may range from 7 to 16 degrees Celsius, 19 to 61 degrees Fahrenheit, when warmed by body heat. Some of Alaska's popular annual events are the Iditarod Trail Sled Dog Race from Anchorage to Nome, the World Ice Art Championships in Fairbanks, the Blueberry Festival and Alaska Hummingbird Festival in Ketchikan, the Sitka Whale Fest, and the Stikine River Garnet Fest in Wrangell. The Stikine River attracts the largest springtime concentration of American bald eagles in the world. Some of the most tourist places. Anchorage, Alaska's largest city, is in the south-central part of the state on the Cook Inlet. It's known for its cultural sites, including the Alaska Native Heritage Center, which displays traditional crafts, stages dances, and presents replicas of dwellings from the area's indigenous groups. The city is also a gateway to nearby wilderness areas and mountains, including the Chugach, Kenai Denali National Park, located in interior Alaska, centered on Denali, the highest mountain in North America. The park and contiguous preserve encompass 6,045,153 acres, 9,446 square miles, 24,460 square kilometers, which is larger than the state of New Hampshire. On December 2, 1980, 2,146,580 acre, 3,350 square miles, 8,687 square kilometers, Denali Wilderness was established within the park. Denali's landscape is a mix of forest at the lowest elevations, including deciduous taiga, with tundra at middle elevations, and glaciers, snow, and bare rock at the highest elevations. The longest glacier is the Kahiltna Glacier. Wintertime activities include dog sledding, cross-country skiing, and snowmobiling. Though most well known as the southern terminus for the Trans-Alaska O Pipeline, Valdez is also a prime destination for travelers. Valdez is located on a wedge of flat land on the north shore of Port Valdez, a deep water fjord, and is a 305-mile road trip east of Anchorage and 364-mile drive south of Fairbanks. The heart of Valdez, like so many other coastal towns in Alaska, is its small boat harbor clustered along its waterfront. From there, the town stretches about a dozen walkable blocks back toward the mountains and Mineral Creek Canyon, while nearby Egan Drive, Valdez is equivalent to Main Street, turns into the Richardson Highway and heads north for Thompson Pass. Scattered through the downtown area are a wide range of restaurants, accommodations, and museums. Visible across the inlet from town is the Trans-Alaska O Pipeline Terminal with its massive storage tanks, each holding 9 million barrels of oil. Seward is a port city in southern Alaska, set on an inlet on the Kenai Peninsula. It's a gateway to Kenai Fjords National Park, where glaciers flow from the Harding Icefield into coastal fjords. Surrounded by peaks, the fjords are a whale and porpoise habitat. The city's Alaska Sea Life Center has seals and puffins, and fishing boats fill Seward Harbor. To the west, a trail leads to the summit of Mount Marathon. Well folks, that is it for now. Thank you for tuning in. Please join us once again as we explore more marvelous destinations. Please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.